welcome back everyone to another episode of A to Z Sports Talk. I'm excited to be here today, excited to keep recording some videos. In terms of just like house cleaning, what's going on with the channel, I'm trying a little bit different lighting setup. I changed the modes. There's a little more daylight coming in, not a lot because it's cloudy outside, but I am recording this one earlier in the day because it's President's Day, so I didn't have to work today, so we're recording a little sooner. I'm still on my HDMI encoder thing. I think I fixed my audio to match up pretty well with my mouth because there's a little bit of delay with these HDMI encoders. There was an echo when I was messing with it yesterday, and I think I fixed that. So I think we're looking pretty good quality-wise now. We just got to keep improving a little bit on some things, maybe mess with some settings on my camera, change the zoom. I don't know. We'll see what looks best, but I'm not going to mess too much with that today. There's probably two videos that look exactly like this. I'm going to try and delete the last one because it was literally just me messing with audio and stuff while I was watching myself trying to get everything figured out. So I'll delete that other one once I post this one. But yeah, so here we are today. I wanted to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend and just kind of dive into each event, how it went, what I thought of it, what I think the future is going to look like there. And then yeah, that'll probably be it for today. It might be a little bit shorter one, but we'll see. And then we'll move on to maybe a few after All-Star break predictions, or maybe I'll save that for another episode because I don't think we have any games till Thursday. So if I want to record before then, maybe that'd be a good topic, but we'll see. So let's start from I guess if people like the celebrity game, I can start there. I watched a tiny bit of it, mostly because I knew like Michael Parsons, C.J. Stroud were going to be in it. I had heard C.J. Stroud was really good at basketball, so I was like, sure, I'll watch it for a little bit. I did see Michael Parsons play pretty good. I didn't, to be fully transparent, I didn't watch very much of it because it wasn't entertaining to me. I don't know. I'm not big into that celebrity game. I've never watched a full one. I just turn it on because there's nothing else to watch on TV, you know. But yeah, Michael Parsons had like 36 points, I think. Played really good. The little bit I watched C.J. Stroud, he bricked a few threes, and that was about it. So in terms of the NFL representing Michael Parsons and his athleticism kind of took over, won MVP there. I couldn't even tell you who won. That's how much I didn't care about that one. But so let's move into actual NBA All-Star Saturday night. Starting with the skills challenge. I think it's pretty entertaining. I don't know. I like watching the athletes show off their skills and stuff, and so it was cool to see. I liked the whole all-star first pick Indiana Pacers theme there. I feel like all the events could have a little more. Honestly, the three-point contest is the most entertaining one at this point, I think, because the players actually try, and I think it's because it doesn't take. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's hard to shoot that many threes in a row, but it's not. They want to show off their shooting ability, you know, so they take it seriously. But yeah, it was fun to watch. It was cool to see, like I said, the different first pick All-Star Pacers. The Pacers won it, and I feel like the teams usually win it because they care a little bit more. They try a little bit harder. I mean, Anthony Edwards was shooting with his left hand that first event, the like obstacle course or whatever it was called, and so. I'd like to see them find a way to make it a little more competitive. It's just I don't think they care too much, but in my opinion, I think I've grown to like the All-Star Saturday night a little bit more than the actual game on Sunday because I feel like the players care a little bit more about these events just because they're like more like mini games instead of a real game that no one wants to try and they just want to jack up a whole bunch of threes and get some dunks. But yeah, in terms of highlights, I don't know. Halliburton was fun to watch there. I'm not a big fan of the passing one. I don't know. That's just them rotating in circles, throwing it in a target. I don't know. I'd like to see them change that out for something else. The shooting one's fun with the different values along the court and stuff. I'm trying to think what would be better than the passing. I mean, passing is a fundamental of the game, and I think that's the whole theme there's the obstacle course that kind of combines it all, dribbling and shooting. There's no passing in that one. I think they took that part out But so that one kind of contains everything, and then the passing to show your passing. But I don't think I don't know. It's hard. I mean, I think if they just maybe if they took the passing and turned it into maybe more like the precision passing in the NFL Pro Bowl games, that had like different targets on different areas of the court. That I think that would be more fun, and just let one person go at a time, see how many points they can get like one shot at each or 10 total shots, or passes. Maybe make some has to be a chest pass, some has to be a bounce pass. I think there you go. That's my suggestion to improve that. I think that would be fun. See them get different point values there instead of just these three big targets that they just weave around throwing them at. I don't know. I don't like that part of it. Like I said, the shooting's fun. The obstacle course is fun as long as the players are kind of trying there. And I'm not expecting them to go all out, but it's fun to watch. And so in terms of who I wanted to win that one, I didn't really care. I'd probably say first picks just because I like Anthony Edwards. Wemby's fun to watch. Who's the other one? Paolo Banchero. I like him too. They're a good group of guys, and so I was probably cheering for them a little bit more, but I really didn't care in that event. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts there. I think there's some room to improve that event, but it's a fun one to watch. So moving on to, let's see, second event of the night was the 3-point contest. Like I said, this one's probably my favorite to watch now, just because, like I said, they all take it seriously. They all try hard. It's not like they're not trying to make shots, and so Damian Lillard won it. Going into it, I thought he would win it. I just think he's the best shooter that was in that field. Trae Young's obviously talented, but I think he's a little overrated as a shooter. He's a great shooter, but I think Dame clears him there. Karl Anthony Towns, I thought, had a chance because he killed it last year there. Who else was there? Donovan Mitchell didn't do too hot. I don't remember. I don't even think he made it into the second round. There were those few that got 26 points. Yeah, I don't know what else to say there. It was, like I said, Damian Lillard won it. It was funny because kind of going into the Sabrina versus Steph, which is the next event. Sabrina Ionescu, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but that's how it looks to me. She scored just as much as all the men, and I mean, obviously she was using a women's ball, but that's not like handicap for her because she's a woman, and she was shooting from the 3-point line, and so it was even harder for her, but she scored just as many points as Damian Lillard, who won the thing. And then Steph Curry came in and scored 29, so he would have won the 3-point contest as well. And it would have been interesting to see if Curry did both. I think he could have got warmed up in the 3-point contest, probably won it. And then if he wants that record for the most points in a 3-point contest, that would have been a good time to go for it because he would have been warmed up, Like he just did one round cold, scored 29 points. And I mean, he got a little bit of time to warm up, so he wasn't cold, but in the actual event, you get 2 or 3 times to shoot, and so you're warmer by the time you get to the end instead of just start cold turkey, run it once, and you're done. But yeah, Damian Lillard's a great shooter. I think one of the best in the league for sure, and so it doesn't surprise me that he won. Yeah, not much else there. The Sabrina versus Steph was the one I was most excited for this event night. Just because, I don't know, it was something different, a challenge, like just one-on-one challenge. Sabrina started off hot. I think she hit the whole first rack, and I thought she was going to score over 30 again, and make it really hard on Steph. But she kind of cooled off a little bit towards the end, and then Steph kind of did the opposite. He started off missing a few. He didn't miss a ton, and then he finished really hot to seal the victory. And so that one was fun to watch. I think they'll keep it in there, and I think they'll kind of expand on it somehow. Maybe I've seen a lot of people suggest Steph and Clay versus Sabrina and Caitlin Clark, I think it is. But from what I've heard, I think Caitlin Clark's going back. No. She's going. I was thinking Paige Buchers. I don't remember her last name and how to say it. She's going back to UConn, I think. So take that back. She'll probably be in the WNBA next year, so that could be fun. But also, all of those suggestions, I think Sabrina is a better shooter than Caitlin Clark. And so I don't know. That'll be interesting, but that would be fun. Splash Brothers versus WNBA or Steph and Dame versus WNBA. Like I don't know how they'd combine the two if it's just the best total score wins. I don't know. It'll be fun to expand on and see. Maybe they'll just make the 3-point contest a little bigger and start looping in some WNBA players or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I think there's, like I said, something to be excited about, something to expand on there, which was fun to watch. And I was glad Steph won, represented, best shooter ever. And so that was fun. Like I said, I really enjoyed the 3-point contest and the Sabrina versus Steph thing. So moving on to the dunk contest, man, that was hard to watch. Mac McClung is an excellent dunker. He's really fun. He has a crazy vertical, but that was it, man. The Jaylen Brown's dunks were extremely lame, in my opinion. I think he got more points for some creativity, like his jump over Kai Cenat, I think is how you say his name. He's short, he's sitting in a chair, and he just did a normal dunk, and then he like tried to make it look like he didn't look at the end. I don't know. And he got like a 48 or something for that. And I was like, that should have been a 30, 20, like any NBA player could do that dunk. That can dunk. I don't even remember who else the other two were. Obi Toppin's brother, I don't remember his first name. And who was the other one? Yikes. Well, don't come here for me to remember people's names and real nice, thorough analysis because they were so bad that I don't even remember their names. Who was the other one? Man, I can't even remember what team he was on, what dunks he did. Man, it was lame, I'll tell you that. And I think diving into that a little bit, just to finish off that analysis because there's not much to say. Mac McClung, first of all, I think his first dunk where he jumped over the two people, grabbed the ball, dropped it, grabbed it again, that should have been a 50. That was crazy. I've never seen that before. I think that deserved more love. I think he got docked a little bit because it was his second attempt. But then when he dunked over Shaq, that was insane, man. I think it was Obi Toppin's little brother. When he did it, first of all, Shaq's like bending down. He used his hand to launch himself over Shaq, and then he dunked it. Mac McClung had him stand straight. I think he bent his head down, but that was it. He was standing straight with it behind him. He jumped him, cleared him without putting his hand on his back, and then dunked it. And so that was insane because Shaq's huge. And he's like, I looked up his height. I think he's 6'2". And so that was insane. Deserved the 50. He's an excellent dunker. I don't know if he'll come back just because I don't think he wants his name or his legacy or whatever to be known as a dunker. I think he wants to make it in the NBA, which I don't think he probably ever will. So maybe he'll just accept it and run this as long as he can. We'll see. But he didn't seem super committed after the dunk contest. But yeah, he's the only one that deserved to be there in my opinion. Jaylen Brown, all his dunks were very underwhelming in my opinion. Yeah, he was a little more creative with the LED court and stuff, which was cool to see. But in terms of his actual dunks, they were just average dunks. Like I don't know where he was going with those. But so in terms of like the future of the dunk contest, I think there's a few things there to really hit. One being, I've seen a lot of people saying that there's just every crazy dunk you can really do has been done. And I think there's some truth there. I saw a video of Vince Carter doing the exact same dunk as, I think it was someone last year. I don't remember who it was. And when Vince Carter did it, it was the first time that it had ever been done. Everyone jumps off their feet. Everyone gets a standing ovation. It might have been Jaylen Brown, actually. I don't remember. And then whoever did that either this year or last year, it's just kind of crickets in the stadium when they did it because it wasn't crazy like people had seen it before, And so I definitely think there's some truth there. Like I said, I think to get the dunk contest back to where it needs to be, I think they need to bring more props in again. Like when Dwight Howard and Nate Robinson were going at it, it was fun. They built anticipation just to see what they brought in. Like I remember Dwight Howard putting on the Superman cape and bringing in like a 12, 13-foot rim and dunking on that. Nate Robinson gets the Kryptonite Knicks jersey, and I actually think he dunked over Dwight Howard. And so the competitiveness there and the sportsmanship to be able to use each other as props, like that was fun when Blake Griffin brought in the car, man. Like I think we need to get back to that. You might not be able to do the most crazy athletic dunk that's ever been done because maybe it's already been done before. Or even when Zach LaVine and Eric Gordon were going at it, those were some of my favorite dunk contests, and they were showing a lot of athleticism and skill, but they bring in the mascots and they jump over the mascot and do under both legs, like that's when it's entertaining. And so I think since we're at a point now where, like I said, I think there's truth to every dunk has been done. I think there's truth there. I mean, someone can probably come up with a few different variations or something that would be exciting to watch. But to really get the thrill into it, the excitement back into it, I think they got to, and maybe they're not allowed to bring in big props like that anymore. And if they're not, then that's what needs to change. Because that used to be the highlight of the night, man. Seeing Blake Griffin bringing a car and jumping over it, seeing extra hoops being brought in, like that was fun. That was entertaining, fun to watch. And so I hope we can get back to that. That would be entertaining for sure. To see what Mac McClung could do with props, or if you can get some superstars in there battling, if you get Ja Morant, Zion Williamson, just some really athletic people. I think that's the direction they need to go. Get some props back in there. Let them make it more entertaining instead of just trying to do crazy dunks. And my camera's about to cut out. I should reset it before I started this. Let me fix it real quick. So yeah, and sorry, I still need to figure that out. I got it set to 30 minutes, but I'm sure there's a way I can just turn it off so that doesn't happen. But yeah, I mean, thinking back, I'm remembering more dunks now. I think it was Paul George put like glow in the dark or strips or glow sticks or something to make like a runway, and then he dunked it in the dark with glow in the dark stuff. Like even though it's not a crazy dunk, it still is cool to watch. I remember, I think it was Gerald Green put up a cupcake up there, blew out the cupcake and dunked it. And so that's what you got to do, some cool things like that, And that's the other thing is that adds some, what's the word, intricacy, skill points to the dunk, because you're not just dunking it. You have to get up there, blow out the cupcake, dunk it. You're dunking it in the dark, staying in the glow in the dark lanes. Like there's more skill involved when there's props you're using or jumping over, or blowing out. There's just more there. And so I think that's the route they need to take for sure to save that event, because it was one of the worst I've ever seen on Saturday. It was kind of gross. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on All-Star Saturday night. So moving into the actual game on Sunday, kind of the same theme there. It was one of the worst All-Star games I've ever watched. And it started off pretty slow. Like, I don't know. It's not very fun to watch players go down, just jack up an uncontested three. And the exception there, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Steph Curry fan, when he hit 16 threes in one game, and he was shooting from the logo, doing a turnaround, running down the court while the ball's barely at the apex of his shot. Like, that was fun. He was a showman. He entertained. And so that was a little different. But just seeing Damian Lillard and Halliburton just jack up threes, like, I don't know. It just wasn't very entertaining in my opinion. And Towns was just dunking left and right. I will say the one part that I genuinely smiled, thought it was fun, was when Jokic and Luka just kept tipping it back and forth to each other. And then I think at the very end, Luka tipped it back to Jokic, and Jokic tipped it behind his head to Shea, and Shea dunked it or laid it up. I don't remember how he finished it. But that was fun. That was a fun play. But other than that, there was nothing really that got me excited. It was just a whole bunch of players that didn't care, scored 200 points. And I've seen videos all over social media the last few days of the All-Star game in '96 or whatever with Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Michael Jordan, and they're competing. They're playing defense. I think that's what fans want. They come to see NBA players who are the best of the best. Like that West team, if you played a real basketball game, they would have destroyed the East team. You had Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, three of the best players ever, and they could have been on the floor at the same time. Then you got Jokic, who's probably the best, second best, top five at the very least in the NBA today. You got Luka, Booker, Shea is in the MVP conversation. Like the legends there, along with some of that youth. The West was stacked, and then the East, kind of mid in my opinion. Giannis, arguably best in the NBA, top five, whatever you want to say. Dame's good, but then after that you had all young bucks. You had Damian Lillard, Tyrese Halliburton. You know, like they're good. Don't get me wrong, but the if you played a full competitive game like the NBA Finals, the West would have destroyed the East, and they just didn't care. And so to fix that, I don't know what you do. I just don't think. Lots of people say just play like you're playing at Rucker Park in the summer or pick up in UCLA, you know, like, and I don't know why they can't do that. They genuinely just don't care about this All-Star game. My camera's battery's about to die, looks like, too, so I'll start cutting this off. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at there. It's not entertaining anymore, really. I'll watch it to see if there is something to be entertaining, but it's nothing special. It's like I said, it would be really fun to watch those all-time great players compete against each other and really want to win. And I think the whole, I don't remember what it was called, but the like Kobe scoring, where they tallied all the points from the first three quarters and then 24 points at the end or past what you were at wins it. Like that made it more competitive in my opinion. People actually started competing towards the end. And I think if this game was closer, they would have actually played some defense and stuff towards the end because they want to win. It's not, they don't care that much, but when it comes down to the end and it's within 3 points, I think everyone would lock up a little bit, play a little bit harder, and really try to win. So, I don't know. Whether you figure something out with scoring or give, I don't even know if financial incentives would really do much because they already all make millions. So what's a few $100,000 to them to play harder in one game? I don't know. Maybe that would help. You can't. I've seen a lot of people saying give whoever wins home court advantage of the finals. You can't do that because then you're completely erasing the importance of other parts of the game. Same with like the in-season tournament guaranteeing a playoff spot. You can't do that. Like, because let's say the Timberwolves make it in the West and the Celtics make it in the East, and the Timberwolves somehow came in there with a better record than the Celtics. Like, that is an accomplishment if the Timberwolves can end up doing that. And so you can't just say, oh, the East won. They had one player from two technically. They had two players from the Celtics on that team. They played a total of 15 minutes each. They get home court advantage in the finals if they make it. Like, you can't do that. That ruins importance of this regular season. So things like that. Same with the in-season tournament guaranteeing a playoff spot. That's such a the Lakers won that, and then they're playing a little bit better the last few weeks, but they haven't been very good since. And so if they just went and finished 30 and 50, and I mean that's a little extreme, but you can't give that team a playoff spot because they're just gonna get wrecked. Like, that's not, you can't diminish the importance of the regular season by guaranteeing things like that. So I don't know how you fix the All-Star game, man. The players got to get together and say, let's put on an actual show for our fans. We don't have to try like it's the playoffs, but let's go out there and actually play ball like we're playing pickup in the summer, you know? So I think that's kind of where they got to go. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it for NBA All-Star Weekend for me. Yeah, camera's battery's dying, so we'll hit second half of the season predictions one of these nights before the next game on Thursday, probably. Maybe I'll do it Wednesday and then make some picks for Thursday, something like that. But yeah, so this has been A to Z Sports Talk. It's been a pleasure. Like I said, if you run across my videos, please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want to talk about next time, and I'd be happy to hit those topics for you. But there's no way I can grow unless I'm getting likes, comments, subscriptions. and then I can put out better content, get a better setup for you, better props, better everything. And then yeah, I want to try starting reaction videos as well, so we're gonna try that here in the next few days, figure out how to get a screen up here, and then I'll just kind of be smaller in the corner reacting to videos. So we're gonna try that as well, but that's kind of the plan moving forward. So like I said, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, leave suggestions below. It's been a pleasure, and we will talk to you next time.